Chloe is 8 years old. She was adopted when she was 1 by Jason and Christy. Shortly after, it became apparent that Chloe had some health and development issues. Chloe has a range of special educational needs. She is nonverbal, has learning difficulties, and although she can walk very short distances, she is classed as wheelchair dependent. Chloe also has a range of complex health needs. She also has 2 rare genetic conditions, the first being MELAS and the second being known only by the code BRPF1. Chloe suffers with epilepsy and is also totally nil by mouth, as she has total gastrointestinal failure. Chloe is fed through a central line, which is a tube which is placed into a main vein close to her heart. This method is known as TPN, Total Parenteral Nutrition. In this documentary, we'll be sitting down with Adrian and Jason, Chloe's brother and dad respectively, as well as Claire, one of Chloe's carers. They'll be answering questions which will help us learn about living with someone as complex as Chloe and how she and her disabilities have impacted them. Chloe's dad has to wash his hands and wear an apron and gloves just like a nurse would in the hospital. Chloe is totally nil by mouth, and here Chloe's dad is going to prepare her feed, which is a bag of liquid containing various vitamins and minerals. A various amount of needles, syringes and tubing is unwrapped, and alongside the feed, several medications must also be prepared. Once all the medications and feed is ready, Chloe can be changed into her nightwear, given her medications, and finally plugged into her feed, which is an overnight infusion of 13 hours. Chloe goes to school all day, every day, each week, with her carer Claire. We asked her a few questions about her time with Chloe.
So I'm Chloe's carer. I take her to school 3 days a week and help her just do all her normal school activities and be a friend and look after her really at school. I'm quite a natural caring person and I like to look after people. My sister's got cerebral palsy, so from a young age I've always looked after her and been there for her, so I think that's why I went down the carer path. So Chloe's needs, she has her TPN, but I don't really deal with any of that. I'm just there to protect it and make sure she doesn't pull at it or no harm comes to it. She's nil by mouth, so I don't have to worry about feeding Chloe. So really I'm just there to help her go about her normal life, walking around, making sure she doesn't hurt herself, learning, playing, trying to live as normal a life as possible and not stop any harm coming to her. So Chloe gets fed through her heart through her TPN line, which either mum or dad do or the nurses do it during the night. Just playing with her really and seeing her happy and just being a normal little girl. I enjoy taking her to school. She really likes that, and just seeing her engaging with the other children, that's probably my favourite thing. Well, I never had any children before I met Chloe, and I definitely gained one with her. I always say she's my other child. So yeah, she definitely opened my eyes to looking after a child. I learnt a lot of things through Chloe before having my own. Having to change a nappy whilst holding down an alligator, trying to roll around and limbs going everywhere. I've learnt that from Chloe. But no, she's just brought a lot of happiness to my life, I'd say.
We asked Chloe's dad, Jason, to tell us a bit about her needs.
I communicate with Chloe by talking to her. We read to her. We do some hand gestures. Chloe is able to communicate back with two signs. But yeah, just by talking, like you would normally. Chloe enjoys a lot of sensory play, all sorts of little rubbery toys that she can squish and pull. She likes to play in ball pools, shred paper. She likes water play. And she also likes using her eye gaze. She needs glasses so she can see properly. She has to have special shoes to help her walk. She's tube fed with a central line because she's nil by mouth. Chloe wears a protective helmet most of the time when she's out and at school. Due to her epilepsy, she has quite a lot of seizures, some of which can cause her to fall over, so we need a helmet to protect her head. Her central line is currently in a back just under her left shoulder blade. And we have various different dressings, little lockable dressings, plasters, all sorts of stickers, holding it in place. She then has a vest over the top so that she can't physically get to it. And we have 24-hour care for her, just to keep her tube safe.
Adrian is Chloe's older brother. We asked him what it's like living with Chloe.
Chloe's disabilities impact me a lot. It makes me worried about having to go to hospital and if she's going to be okay. It just happens when it happens. Even a temperature, she has to go to hospital. So even when she has a temperature, it can make home quite stressful. At the minute, I worry about her seizures a lot. My favourite thing to do with Chloe is spend a lot of time with her, play games with her and read children's storybooks to her. She really likes children's storybooks. And yeah, just on a weekend while I'm at college, just spend a lot of time with her. It's really special. Chloe communicates with me by waving one finger like this, and I talk to her and I just hope she understands. Because she smiles and laughs when she understands something.
Chloe, clap.
And for example, she points at things that she wants or what she likes. So my favourite memory with Chloe has got to be when my parents had went to adopt her. So what my parents had done is they'd gone through to speak to the foster parents and explain that I was here to visit. And when I was outside the room, I could hear her crying. She was pretty upset. So then when I went into the room, she started smiling and laughing, and it was really, really nice. My worst memory of Chloe has probably got to be when she spent 3 months in hospital when I was still in school. Back in 2018, she had to get a tube fitted into her back to stop her pulling it out from her chest. And the doctors and nurses still have unanswered questions because she's very complex. We adopted Chloe when I was 10. My other 2 sisters have disabilities too, so it wasn't quite different. It just meant a busier house. It was okay at first, but then we realised something wasn't right. She wasn't digesting any of the food, anything she was eating was just coming back up, which meant she had to get the tube. For Chloe, I just hope for her to be happy and healthy, that's it.